Yo, I just mixed a fire record on NS10s, but I don't even own NS10s. If you mix using headphones, try this. I've never been one to calibrate headphones. I just didn't understand why you would want to do it. But this tiny little box can simulate studios that sound like you in a real control room. It can save you thousands of dollars from buying multiple studio monitors, and you don't even need a computer to use it after you set it up. This is my new friend, the ARC On-EAR. Until I received the ARC On-EAR, I had never been one to calibrate headphones. Yes, there's software that can do it, but I just didn't understand why. You get a pair of headphones, and I buy some pretty nice headphones that are trusted. I just want to use them as they are. And I've never been a fan of using software calibration, man. Like, I've tried the software and I'll forget to turn it on, forget to turn it off, not really know when it's on or off. But having hardware devices like the ARC Studio or even the ARC On-EAR takes that software problem out of the equation. It's easy to know whether it's on or off, and I like that feature. Calibrating your studio monitors in a room just makes sense. Audio cancels out or builds up, and the frequencies just start to smear all over the place. So using room correction is actually a really great idea, and I never understood why I would want to do it on headphones until using the ARC On-EAR. And I understand now that it's more than room correction. For one, our ears are unique. Every single person. Your ears might not be as big as mine. They might not point out as big as mine. But the way that my ears are shaped and the way that my head is shaped actually influences the way that I hear music, even in headphones. The ARC On-EAR allows me not only to flatten out the manufacturer's frequency response curve so that I'm hearing every frequency at the same level as it comes out of my music, it also allows me to tailor that sound. So if I want my headphones to sound a little brighter or have a little bit better low end response, I can do that using ARC On-EAR as well. The technology, the responsiveness and tone and clarity of the headphones isn't changing, just the way that I hear them. All right, y'all, so the ARC On-EAR seems pretty simple to set up. I'm gonna start off by connecting this via USB-C. I'm gonna be using my Odyssey LCD-X headphones. These headphones are great, but it definitely takes a little getting used to the profile on them. And I'm just interested to see if the ARC On-EAR can make the listening experience here even better. So we got that set up. I'm gonna plug this end here into where I would plug my headphones, and then got the other cable going straight into the ARC. So we have some signal. Let's take our first look at the ARC On-EAR software. So let's just start from the top. We have space, okay, or frequency response, so that we can come in here and either see the frequency response or even adjust it, or we can choose this space and choose our speakers. That's pretty cool. So that just kind of changes this top display. There's some other information here to the right side where we have our battery level of the actual device is at 70%, and it's also charging since it's connected to the computer now. I wonder what the battery life looks like, because a lot of us mix for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, man. Cool. And then just a little information. We got some settings here. Cool. Close. So let's go ahead and start off with selecting the headphones. So I have, again, the Odyssey LCD-X. All right, here's my headphone. We'll close that. When you hit the cow button, it loads a high-res filter that matches the headphone to IK's target curve. This graph is pretty dope because it shows us the pre and the post of our headphone correction. And before we did this correction, we pretty much had a dip in the low end here. We had a pretty big boost around 200. What's that? At about 4 or 5 dB, and then a little scoop out at about 3K, 3 dB scoop, and then a rise on the high end. The ARC On-EAR calibration has already flattened out. This orange line is the flat line, and we have these user controls where I can go to my lows, mids, and high frequencies and adjust those to my taste. Then there's tone that allow you to make the headphones brighter or more mellow. So instead of learning every little weird bump in the headphones learn you. There's also phase align that adds a tiny bit of latency to line up the phase with the target. Now keep in mind, if you're going to be using this while tracking, turn the phase align off so that you're not getting that latency. Now we get to the fun part, studio simulation. This is IK putting you in an ideal studio environment, not trying to fix your room. The default setting is the correct studio width, about 60 degrees at 100%, and you can make this even wider or more narrow depending on how you like to hear things. And just like any studio environment, there's a little ambience, which you can actually turn off so that it doesn't get annoying if you're doing some detailed editing. And you can emulate virtual speakers. So if you don't own fancy studio monitors or a second pair, you can still check your mixes on them. And that's how this saves you money. You don't have to own 3 pairs of studio monitors to get 3 different perspectives. This isn't a plugin. This is standalone portable headphone calibration and a studio monitor simulator that you can fit in your pocket. It has USB or analog in, and it'll show up like an interface if you connect it to your computer, or you can just feed it from your mixer or interface. This thing is battery powered. It has a nice hard volume knob. You can choose to turn the calibration on or off. You can choose to turn the studio simulation on or off, and it has a user assignable function button that you can choose what that does, and then 5 presets that you can save right here on this device. The 5 presets are pretty dope, and I'm going to be setting up a preset for each pair of my favorite headphones. Some will have the studio simulation turned on or turned off. I'll choose different monitors for each one depending on where I want to go, and then I'll have this whole list of references that I can jump to at any time. That means I can be on the road and still check my mixes in a studio. If you're like me, most of the time you're creating in different spots, you're on the go. And that's why I love headphones for working in and mixing. It's a reference that I can take with me anywhere. But what about those times when I need to check in a studio or on my smartphone? That's where the ARC On-EAR comes into place. You can be anywhere in the world and still have all of your trusted references literally in your pocket. But I would not be a good mentor if I told you that this would be the end all be all. I still highly recommend that if you're going to be doing most of your mixing in headphones, that you find some set of speakers and play your music out loud in a real environment so you can hear how it translates. But look, for stereo mixing on the go or in the studio, you can't beat the calibration and the emulations that this thing can give you, and the size of it. It's just so portable. I think this is super dope, man. I've actually been using the ARC Studio in my control room for about a year to calibrate the studio monitors to the room. If you want to see a video on that, I'll make one. Just let me know down in the comments. And before you get out of here, make sure you check out my last video on headphones. If you're going to be using the ARC Studio, the latest video that I just dropped all about mixing on headphones can really help you out. I'll leave that link in the description as well. Check out ARC Studio, man. Shout out to IK Multimedia. They keep making tools that make life easier for us in the studio or on the go, man. I'm Wavy Wayne from WavyProAudio.com. Be dope.